All right. So has you ever been planning a trip and you have this like iconic place in mind, right? You know, it's been on your bucket list forever.
Yeah.
But then that little voice pops up and says, is it going to be a total tourist trap?
The worst.
Well, today we're tackling one of those big ones, Niagara Falls.
Ooh, good one.
Is it truly awe-inspiring or just a cheesy cash grab? We're diving deep to find out.
Love it. And to guide us on our deep dive, we have Roberta Hill. She actually revisited Niagara Falls as an adult, and she wrote all about it on her blog, Traveling in My 70s.
I love that we have her perspective because she gives it to us straight. Like, she admits the falls themselves are amazing, obviously, but the town,
yeah.
Let's just say she compares it to Las Vegas.
Oh, wow. Okay, so she's not holding back. I can appreciate that.
Not at all.
It's so true, though, right? Trying to find that balance, that authenticity when you're dealing with a huge tourist attraction.
Totally.
It can be tough.
Yeah. You're going for the natural wonder, not necessarily like a quaint town experience.
Exactly.
But here's where Roberta's experience gets really interesting. She talks about visiting Niagara Falls as a kid.
Okay.
And seeing the falls lit up at night in the winter.
Oh, wow.
Which, I mean, I can only imagine. And she said that's a memory that stuck with her.
Oh, I bet. To experience something like that, especially as a kid, is magical. Like it's imprinted on your memory forever.
It makes you think there are those hidden gems, those special moments, even in a place known for being, well, kind of a tourist trap.
For sure. You just have to know where to look.
Right. And Roberta drops some serious knowledge on how to do just that. Like, she's all about avoiding the peak season crowds, which honestly is always a good tip.
Always.
One of her top tips is to stay outside that main tourist area.
Interesting.
Find a charming bed and breakfast or maybe even a hotel chain a little further out for a good deal.
That's a classic travel dilemma, cost versus convenience.
It is.
Do you prioritize your budget or being in the heart of things? It all depends on what you're looking for.
So true. And speaking of getting around, Roberta raves about their public transportation system, the Waygo.
Waygo. Okay, I've heard of that.
She does mention some pre-pandemic deals, though.
Right. Things might have changed.
So listeners, definitely double check the current pricing.
Always good to do your research. We'll be sure to link to their website in the show notes. You never know. They might even have like bundle deals with other attractions and stuff.
It's funny. She mentions taking the little train trolley, and it just makes me think even with public transportation, you can find those like charming little moments.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That make a trip memorable, you know. It's
all about those little details, right? Like sometimes it's worth it to take the slightly slower, more scenic route.
Yes.
Instead of always optimizing for, you know, efficiency.
100%.
Yeah.
And to escape the crowds even more, Roberta's all about off-season travel. Like, can you imagine experiencing Niagara Falls in the quiet of winter?
Oh, wow.
Remember that image she painted? The falls lit up at night with a backdrop of snow.
It's like a completely different experience, right? Peak season versus off-season. You're talking about two different worlds, basically.
Totally. And speaking of different worlds, Roberta doesn't just stick to the falls. She raves about this nearby town called Niagara-on-the-Lake. Have you ever been?
Yeah, I actually have. It's amazing, right? It's like a total departure from the, the main tourist hubbub.
So it's like a breath of fresh air
Yeah.
after all the sensory overload of the falls.
Yeah, and it has this really charming, kind of timeless feel to it.
She uses words like cobblestone streets, elegant architecture, and gardens bursting with flowers. I mean, come on.
Right. And you get that sense of authenticity, which I think a lot of people are craving these days, especially after being surrounded by, souvenir shops and all of that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. She kind of mentions it in passing, but apparently Niagara-on-the-Lake is known for its wineries.
How is it?
So now I'm picturing like a day of exploring vineyards, wine tasting.
Oh, I love that. If you're into that kind of like sensory experience,
right,
there's nothing quite like it. Imagine like a leisurely lunch overlooking the vineyards, a glass of local wine.
Stop. I'm already sold.
Right. You wouldn't want to miss that. It's just a different side of the whole Niagara region.
It's like uncovering these hidden layers to a destination.
Exactly. It's like peeling back, like going deeper.
Yeah, and Roberta briefly touches on their culinary scene as another reason to visit.
Oh, right.
We were just talking about wineries and local produce. I bet there are some amazing farm-to-table restaurants around there.
Oh, for sure. I mean, think about it. Fresh, local ingredients, dishes that are unique to that region.
Ugh, it's making me hungry.
I know, right?
It's a whole other way to connect with a place, through its food.
Totally. It's like experiencing the culture through your taste buds.
Okay, so I feel like if we were to sum up Roberta's advice, it would be don't write Niagara Falls off completely.
Right.
But go in with a plan. Maybe even a couple of different itineraries, depending on what you're looking for.
Yeah, I love that. Because at the end of the day, whether or not a destination is quote-unquote worth it really comes down to your own personal travel style.
It really makes you appreciate having these different perspectives. Like, we have Roberta's experience, which is so valuable.
Yeah.
But it's just one piece of the puzzle, right?
Totally. It's like she's given us the starting point, and now it's up to keep exploring.
I love that. Though, I do have to ask.
Yeah.
She mentions these tremendous overnight deals.
Oh, right.
Do you think those are gone now, post-pandemic?
That's a good question. I mean, the travel landscape has changed so much.
Right.
It really makes you wonder how things have shaken out in a place like Niagara Falls.
So basically, research is even more important now.
Absolutely. Like, don't just rely on blog posts from, 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Even if they're great. Check out recent visitor reviews, see what people are saying now.
Okay, so true. We've got to stay updated.
Exactly. Be your own travel detective.
I love that.
Uncover those hidden post-pandemic gems,
Or at least figure out what's changed.
That's right.
You got it. And maybe, this is a good time to think about what we're really looking for.
Yeah. What's important to you when you travel?
Exactly. We talked about the spectacle of the falls, but then also the charm of Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Two totally different vibes.
Right. If you had to pick, which one speaks to you more?
Ooh. That's a tough one.
I know. See, this is what I love about our deep dives.
Yeah.
We start with one person's experience, and it opens up all these different possibilities.
Because at the end of the day, the best travel experiences are the ones that, really resonate with you.
So true. All right, listeners, there you have it. Is Niagara Falls a must-see or a tourist trap? We've given you the tools, the insights.
Oh, hopefully some inspiration, too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now go plant your own incredible Niagara adventure.